How's it going, Laser Bruce's up? I'm Sixkilla. Welcome back to the Zodiac Trial. We are still trying to escape the deathly Jason masked wearing fucking nutcase with a dagger horse. I think we might be on the route to success. We've got a few fail states to get through after we either succeed or fail here, I'm not too sure, but I want to get as many of these endings as we can. I think we've only got 11 left to go at this point, or 10 or 11. Something like that. Hopefully we'll get them all before the end, but as far as I'm concerned, as long as we get enough info and hit the main ending, that's really all that matters. Anyway, let's get back into it. Enough talking. Okay, we're grabbing something. Hang on, let me go back a sec. 3 bottles of chemicals. I wasn't sure, but maybe just one could save me. I'm going to throw it at him. I guess peroxide, because he's already covered in vinegar, right? So that's 2 different acids mixing together. Sodium would be good if he was covered in water. Arsenic would be good, but over time, if you could like let him soak in it for a while. Let's go with peroxide. I grabbed the peroxide and poured it all over the inside of the skull mask. Then I prayed as horse approached me. Now's your time to die. Wait. What? You shouldn't be staining your hands with my blood. It should be the Night Devil, right? Here, let him finish me off. I handed out the skull mask to him, hoping he'd take the bait. Yes, you're right, he's the killer. He should do this. With one hand, he took the butcher's knife out of his pocket. With the other, he reached over to the mask, took it, and placed it on his head. However, the moment the mask made contact with his face, he began screaming. He tore it off, but it was too late. His entire face was burning. What's wrong? Can't handle the heat? Really? You're gonna, like, make quips now? Just fucking kill him already. Vinegar and peroxide. Each is fairly harmless on their own, but together they make a rather powerful combination. A rather painful combination. Horse fell to his knees, racked with pain. He kept screaming, grabbing at his face, but the burning wasn't stopping. He's got no water to wash it away. As he did this, the dagger fell to the floor. I couldn't waste this opportunity. I quickly rushed over and grabbed the knife off the floor. Then with all my strength, I stabbed it right through his neck. Right then, right as I stabbed him, he stopped screaming, and his eyes jolted open. He stared at me. He gave me a long, hard stare. Then after what felt like an eternity, the man on his knees fell forward. Horse lay face down on the floor, nothing more than a corpse. I did it. Where the others had failed, through quick thinking and sheer luck, I'd managed to kill him. I murdered him. You didn't murder him. We protected ourselves. I won? It didn't feel like it. The rest of the race is a blur to me. Sheep helped me break down the door, horse had jacked up. The run and hide strategy ended up working out pretty well for Rooster, Monkey, Pig and Ox because they were all fine. Grimly, with so many of us dead, we had the necessary minor trinkets to run together as a group. Even through all that insanity, no one stopped pressing run. So we're all at the same space. Horse ended up being one space away from the finish line. He was a hair's breadth from victory. Victory that I stabbed out of him. There was no longer any opposition. With just the 6 of us left, we were able to work as a group and escape. We all crossed the finish line together. Our metal collars came loose and we were free. Who was the other one then? Who was the other traitor? But I knew even then, stepping away from the graveyard of a school, that things couldn't be the same. I'd be permanently scarred, and 6 lives would be permanently over. We're a hero, man, come on. Dog, dragon, snake, tiger, bunny. In the end, they were all killed for nothing. I could hear the Jade Emperor's laughter. This wasn't a victory. It was a loss. 8 of spades. If nothing is found in the first 3 rounds but the sheep pad, trinkets, and weapons, Horse will be assigned to a role that forces him to act. If it isn't possible, Horse will accept his death without a fight. Horse is a monster who can beat any other animal in a fair fight. There is, however, a potential miracle if Mouse can tire out Horse and trick him. But this possibility is both slim and bloody. Better paths definitely exist. No shit. Alright, we're going to go back and get some fails in. We'll go back to the chemicals and we'll pick arsenic. I grabbed the arsenic and poured it all over the inside of the skull mask. Then I prayed as Horse approached me. Now's your time to die. Wait. What? You shouldn't stain your hands with my blood. It should be the Night Demon, right? Let him finish me off. Okay, alright. We know this one. Pathetic. There is nothing you can do in the face of my might. With that, he suddenly rushed me, stabbing me with the knife. As he pulled it from my throat, the blood poured out of my body. I could only think, man, I was really hoping that would react with the vinegar. I was going to turn you into a fucking science fair volcano. You're going to put some fucking baking powder in you. And then I died. 8 of hearts. When Mouse is facing down Horse alone, she'll be at a massive disadvantage. She'll need to catch off guard by confronting him with the truth. Even then, if she doesn't learn or remember some special trick that would catch even Horse off guard, Horse will end up killing her. So I think we did upper right door? Didn't we? I think we did upper right. Let's just do right. It'd be a little trickier to wire it up there, what with the double doors. Still, I think it should be possible, theoretically speaking. Great, so then what do we do with the other doors? With what we have left, I think we can cover the other entrances by placing a pair of scouts right here. Pair of scouts? You have a sniper rifle and you brought back a pistol, right? We should keep the dual pistols or someone safe as a backup plan, so those are the weapons we'll use. One member of the pair will keep an eye on the upper right entrance with the sniper, waiting to make a shot if Horse enters through there. The other scout, the one with the pistol, can watch the first scout's back in case Horse enters through the open-aired commons. Admittedly, if he does approach from that position, there's a slight risk, but even still, if the scout with the pistol is on the ready, they should have a significant advantage. Plus, there's only a 1 in 4 chance he starts by coming through there. It hardly seems perfect, but still, it's probably our best shot. Yeah, with this plan, we pretty much got the whole place on lockdown. Excuse me, I know you mentioned the scouts, but what about the rest of us? Where should we be? See that little diverted section in the back of the cafeteria? You should be fine if you hide, but this is all the same. It was right as I asked that it happened. The demon fell from above. Above? How stupid were we? We didn't even think about the fact that there was a walkway on the second floor that looked down on the commons. But I certainly didn't expect Horse to just jump that. Instantly, he snatched the sniper rifle out of Snake's hands and picked him up by the throat. An obvious oversight, how sad. Those were his last words before Horse stabbed him right in the gut with the dagger. Snake! No, I can't freak out. This time I wasn't backing down. I tried to fire my pistol at him, but before I could even aim at him, he snatched my arm and picked me up by it. I almost fell for it. Almost. But when I came down the right hallway, I saw the other doors were blocked off by vending machines. The moment I saw that, I thought to myself, why are they protecting these doors? Then I realized they probably were. Sorry, but you didn't think this out well enough. As my body dropped to the floor, all that went through my mind was, really? Like this? Perhaps not my most meaningful last thought, but perhaps this wasn't my most meaningful death. You can say that again. 8 of diamonds. After the first few deaths, setting up an ambush will be the inevitable next step. However, if the position isn't properly thought out, Horse will easily get past the traps and massacre the group. But Mouse is smarter than this, right? Absolutely. Alright, we're going to have to head to a new path, so I'm going to cut here and I will bring you back as soon as we find a new path to head down. Alright, we are back and it is time to work our way down a new path. I've written down some new paths that I don't think we've taken yet. So we're going to go with Snake Rooster. We're going to be skipping all the stuff that we can. Have we not done this at all? Shit. Actually, I'll help Snake and Rooster search. Great. Now we've got a triad of searches to uncover the blasted trinkets. I doubt Mouse will be a hindrance. And it's possible that these items will be hidden not in a way that invites spread out searching, but rather deliberate thought. Not entirely sure what you're saying, but it sounds like we're decided. Fine, Mouse, you go with them. Now we can quit talking about searching and just start searching. Yeah, let's do that. The rest of us can just split up and look around. Oh, and everybody, remember to input your moves and reconvene here before the round ends. Got it. With that, we all spread out and began our search. Rooster, Snake, and I started by completely looking through a classroom. Unfortunately, there was absolutely nothing out of place there. It was a completely standard school classroom. We moved on to the next classroom, and again, we found no success. It was disheartening, but our search had only just begun. We started going further down the hallway when Rooster commented on the art display hung on the wall. Oh, would you look at this little gallery? It's quite nice, isn't it? This is certainly an artistic school, I have to say. I've seen a bunch of murals painted on the walls and individual art projects hanging all over the place. But this is the first full-on art showcase, isn't it? Yeah, it is. So why are we stopping here? Mouse, the first thing you learn in Showbiz world is that the people only perform their best when morale is up. If we just wander around looking for clues like Scooby-Doo zombies, we'll be half as effective as we would be as ourselves. I, for one, am feeling more motivated by taking a second to appreciate this fine and powerful art. How is this supposed to be powerful art? This is just a bunch of still life paintings of the same car. Ah, so that's how this comes across to the naive eye. You need to look deeper and see the true artistry behind this piece. Art is always a very metaphoric thing. For instance, look at that painting of a wheel. The wheel actually represents a car. Rooster, it's literally a close-up of a car. Case in point. While our friend here is certainly struggling to make his point convincingly, he's actually not incorrect. I concede that at first this collection just seems to be a collection of still life close-ups of the same car. However, try to ask yourself why it was drawn in this particular way. The painting seemed to employ plenty of horizontal strokes and places not needed, adding a sense of motion and blur to all these shots. However, it's clear that the car is stationary, in bad shape even. Look at how the tyre is slightly depressed or how there's a crack in one of the car's front headlights. Artists do not needlessly add such details. Most telling is the use of monochromatic palettes for each individual piece. The colours chosen imply a lot. A burning red, a dark purple, a melancholy blue. These are deeply negative colours. As a whole, these pieces come together to suggest a sense of inner conflict. There's a sense of motion, and yet the car isn't moving, it can't move. Emblematic of the artist's life, perhaps. It's frustrating, disheartening to have this complete mishmash of wanting to move, but being unable to. All that said, I'll give you that such interpretation requires ample thought. It is the fault of the artist that you did not come to such conclusions. A more skilled hand would be able to make that inner conflict more apparently visible. The fact that such themes are so subdued is doubtlessly a product of the artist's status as a novice. That's an interesting take. Still, you have to wonder why art always bothers itself to be so abstract instead of just showing such things. I would guess that you're not a fan of modern art then. It's certainly a genre easy to criticise. However, I would argue that in an age where high-fidelity artistry is becoming more and more common, an emphasis on art that provokes thought is even more important. Additionally, art is most importantly about self-satisfaction. That's a bold claim. Agreed. I don't know if I fully believe it, but I think art that the artist doesn't enjoy is worthless, and often the art with subtlety in its meaning is the art most meaningful to the creator. Take the soup cans of Andy Warhol. A friend of his suggested, as a joke, he draw cans of Campbell's soup. Warhol loved the idea, and probably painted dozens of them. This drew many criticisms from art critics, which only seemed to feed Warhol's obsession with painting them. Later in life, Warhol called these soup cans his favourite pieces, and even said that he wished he could have only painted those soup cans. And today they stand as an incredibly iconic piece of art history, in no small part because of Warhol's enthusiasm for them. You're certainly knowledgeable about all this. Well, of course, I mentioned it earlier, but I'm an artist. Not my main job, unfortunately, but perhaps one day. A fellow artist, eh? Glad to be working with a comrade in the war for beauty. Please don't compare yourself to him. Now, Mouse, Rooster is right. You're a struggling actor, right? Nix the struggling part and you got it. While expressing yourself on film is absolutely a form of high art, anything that exists for the sake of expressing the human condition is art. Of course, I'm not saying film isn't art, I'm just saying I don't think you two are comparable. I mean, forgive me if I'm wrong, but you don't seem like you're making black and white French films. No, I make things that people actually watch without passing out. See? I still think you're being too dismissive about this, Mouse. Rooster, why do you act? Great question. You see, ever since I was young, I wanted to be like those action stars and superheroes I'd always watch. There were people who would do anything to save the day, who were unstoppable, who truly believed in themselves. They were famous, and loved, and totally cool. That was really moving to me. So that's the sort of rock star life I want to live. I want to be famous and have a lot of money and a lot of fans. Got it? That's not what he said. Bruce, you've clearly got a deep desire to be appreciated and powerful. That's why you emulate the stars you've seen on the big screen. Let me ask, what sort of roles have you been performing as? Kick-ass heroes who win no matter what the cost. Just like me. I thought as much, however, it seems like you really desire to be that, which may actually be a hindrance. Have you considered playing a role that desires to be a heroic figure, yet lacks the strength or conviction to pull it off? What? No way. That guy seems like a loser. Why would I portray someone like that? It goes against my brand. I see. It may be too early in your career for a more dramatic role anyways. Well, that was a waste of time. Can we get back to searching for minor trinkets? Yes, we should resume our search. How about we look in that dark room over there? I believe Brian would be more likely to hide items in more exciting locations like that one. Sure thing. Wait, how do you know that's a dark room? I don't, I'm guessing. Though I'm pretty confident. The black spinning door is a staple of dark rooms. If you say so. No reason not to search there, let's go. Because he works here. He's a teacher. We entered through the spinning door. And just like Snake said, it ended up being a dark room. Plenty of photos were being developed. The darkness counterbalanced with the ominous red glow was really freaking me out. Snake was right. If Brian wanted to hide something, this is the sort of place he'd do it. Let's get to looking. It didn't take long to find something. What's this? Mouse, did you find something? Yeah, on the floor. Dark rooms generally don't have safes in them, right? It's certainly not standard. Let me look at it. Snake picked the safe up and put it on the desk. It's locked with a 4-digit code. This safe's pretty cheap. The sort of thing you could easily buy at a store. No doubt this is related to the race. But if it's locked, how are we supposed to open it? This isn't fair at all. You can't tell us that there are items in the school and just lock them away. Calm down. I doubt Brian would play an unfair game. There'd be no point. More likely than not, there's a hint to the safe's password somewhere in this room. Could this be something? Rooster called us over to a wall. On the wall, 4 photographs were turned around and pinned up. On the backs of these photographs, 4 words were written in Sharpie. Running out of time? This has got to be something, right? Yes, this is a message to us. But what could it mean? There are 4 photographs. Perhaps the number of letters in each word could be a hint. Hold on, let me see those photographs. I tore them off the wall and turned them around. Sure enough, there were actual pictures on the front, and they seem to be related. Hey, these pictures have numbers written on the bottom right corner. 1, 2, 3, and 4. You think they were taken in that order? No, there's more water in the cup in photo 3 than photo 2. The order. That might be it. What are you thinking? The message is talking about time, right? We need to put those photos in proper order. But I thought you guys just said that the number on the bottom right didn't give us the order. Exactly. We need to use the other clue in the photos to properly sort them. At first glance, the photos all looked the same. There were a cup on the bedstand. In each of them, there was an hourglass directly behind the bedstand, and in each photo, the sand was at the top of it. However, the contents of the cup had changed slightly in each photograph. In the photograph of the number 1, the cup was fully filled and had ice in it. In number 2, water was filled about a third of the cup. In number 3, the cup was almost completely empty, with mere dregs of water in the bottom. In number 4, the cup had almost no water in it, but there was ice. A shame there's an hourglass behind the cup instead of a clock. If there was a clock, it'd be way too easy. I got it. You do? Yeah, the order's real simple. In photo 3, the cup is empty. In photo 2, the cup is filled a little bit. In 1, it's fully filled, and ice is put in it. In photo 4, the cup is drunk from, only leaving the ice. How about it? The order makes sense, right? It does to me, but it's probably wrong. I'm going to say yes, and we'll see what happens. Yeah, that makes sense. Great, I'll try opening the safe. Rooster moved over to the safe and input the combination. 3214. Didn't seem to work. I didn't think that was right. Then why didn't you say something? Why bother? You know what, who cares if I was wrong? It's something like this, right? How many 4-digit combinations are there with just 4 numbers? Time to brute force it. I don't think that's... Despite my protests, Rooster began inputting random combinations into the safe. I thought this was a terrible idea, but it only took 3 attempts before it suddenly opened. That worked? Huh, never underestimate the power of blind confidence. Indeed. Rooster reached inside the safe and pulled out something that looked like a token. What's this? There's a label on it. Snake minor trinket. Oh, and there's numbers under it. That's it, we found a minor trinket. And it's the snake minor trinket, too. How ironic. Maybe we should hold on to it. No way, fighters keepers. Okay, jeez, it was just a suggestion. If Rooster wants to keep the token, I don't think there should be any problem with that. Anyway, more to the point, it's getting close to the end of the round. I would safely call this a victory, yeah? Then I propose we enter separate rooms, input our moves, and then reconvene in the cafeteria. We can report the success to the others. Good idea. I'll input my move here, you two can go into the classrooms we searched earlier. Works for me. Very well. With that, Snake and Rooster left me alone in this dark room. We had successfully found a trinket. That alone was good news, but seeing how it was hidden, I felt better about our chances. If Brian had just stuck all the items inside random textbooks or simply obscure hallways, it'd be nearly impossible to find all 12 minor trinkets. However, if it was a matter of solving basic puzzles like these, we could definitely find them all. I turned on my tablet and selected Run. Then I left the dark room and went over to the cafeteria. Rooster and Snake had beat me there. Hey Mouse, you're back! Rooster was just sitting at a random table, clearly waiting for the others. Snake, on the other hand, was standing over a chessboard with equal parts amusement and concern. So this is how it is, huh? No point stopping now. What are you talking about, Snake? Pay me no mind. Without another word, he simply moved a white piece and walked over to a table to sit down. I was curious what he was thinking about, but my brief time with Snake had made it clear he would share when he was willing, and no sooner. It wasn't long before the others came back. Many of them were now in low spirits. I couldn't find anything. Me neither, are we doomed? Is this it? I thought I'd at least be able to find one. Have no fear, citizens, for Team Rooster has secured a minor trinket. You guys did? Hell yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Huh, looks like I wasn't the only one to find one of those things. Dog, did you find a minor trinket too? Yep, wasn't that hard, just had to solve a simple problem. Nice work everyone, we're on pace to getting out of here. Ox cleared his throat. Yes, we're certainly performing adequately, however, we can talk more after these results. Okay, we're going to skip ahead because this is all old stuff. Bunny and Dog. Which we had been with before. So that means we have done that bit before? That's right. It's true. Skippy skip skip. I feel like we've done almost all of the dialogue in the game now. Bunny and dog. Actually, I have another suggestion. What is it, Mouse? I'm worried about the possibility that someone might have both traders in their group. Oh, come on, what are the chances of that? Or, what if the trader is someone like Horse or Tiger? Not in those groups. No one in those groups can stand against them. She's not wrong. Nope. For that reason, I think we should, as a collective, pledge to all look in the same general area. Obviously not in the same specific places, that defeats the point of spreading out, but the same area of the floor. That way, if anything goes wrong, we can call out to each other. I like that idea a lot. Me too. There's strength in numbers. The suggestion makes sense. Alright, okay, we'll go with that. If this is the plan, then what section of the school should we look through first? May I suggest the right part of the first floor? I don't think we've covered enough ground over there. Sure, let's do it already. I'm sick of talking about this. Dragon's curt remark cut the conversation off. We were all just sick of talking. We were antsy and nervous and sick. What would make us feel better? Looking for the dang trinkets? So everyone started searching throughout the same general portion of the first floor. Dog was a very light conversationalist and Bunny took his cues, so our group was a very quiet search party. But that didn't mean we weren't a determined search party. We went through rooms with a great amount of precision and speed. It was only natural that before long Bunny found something unusual. In some room with a big projector there was a safe hidden under some stairs. Unfortunately, to open it there was some crossword puzzle that used a bunch of movie trivia. How the hell are we supposed to answer some of these when we haven't watched some of these movies? It's really weird. In the past these things didn't seem to need specific knowledge. I don't know why this one's different. If we're really stuck, why don't we start asking other people for help? Didn't that one kid do camera stuff? You mean acting? Yeah, whatever. My point is we should pool our brain resources, you feel me? Good thinking. Taking Dog's advice, we talked to the other people and before we knew it we were able to solve the puzzle. By the time Bunny was able to open the safe, we had amassed something of a crowd. Unfortunately, when we looked in the safe there wasn't a minor trinket but a statue. Bunny took it out. What's this? There's numbers on it. 829. Shut up! What? You moron? We don't even know what it does. You missed a piece of paper inside the safe again. Whoops. Same dents, same mistakes, you know what I mean? Just read the paper, Dog. I'm getting to it, relax. This is a prayer statue to the ancient draconic gods, said to strike down enemies if asked. By activating this item, you're introducing another action that animals can take. There will now be a pray option to all available. After pressing pray, you can select any other animal's name, or you can select no one. Pray cycles will be every 15 minutes instead of 45, and everyone must select a prayer option each cycle or face punishment, which means there will be 3 pray cycles every 45-minute round. At the end of a pray cycle, the participant whose name was entered by the most people will receive holy judgment and will be executed. Executed? The votes will be anonymous, but it will be revealed how many of you voted for the participant. If everyone selects no one, or if a multiple person receives an equal amount of votes, no one will be executed. When you activate this item, the effects will start at the beginning of the next round, and will be explained to the group. That's crazy. We would never want to activate that item. There's absolutely no benefit to something like that. You mean to tell me my second chance information was for nothing? I would be so quick to dismiss the use of this item. If there were a traitor, which we could not easily conventionally defeat, say Horse or Tiger, we could activate this item and use it to take them down safely. It's a leveling item, to ensure that if there's one person completely physically superior to the group, they can't simply steamroll the rest. What it is bait. We lock the statue up and never open it. Agreed. It seems entirely too risky to activate the item under any circumstances, so we decide to seal the item off. We kept on searching. Snake's group found another minor trinket, bringing the count to 6. But eventually time ran low, and we had to go into individual rooms to input our actions. I chose to run, obviously. When that was done, we decided to start looking around the left side of the first floor. However, when the 4th round switched over, a voice started to play on our tablets.
Attention animals. A major trinket has been used, and there is now a new option available.
What?
Praying.
Our faces twisted in horror as we realized that the horrible rules we'd heard about had indeed been put into play. I already could tell that this meant nothing good. Someone used the major trinket. An immediate emergency meeting was called. What the hell was that? I thought we agreed to throw that horrible mechanic away. Okay, fess up, who did it? Don't worry, I'm not mad, I'm just disappointed. You really think that that's going to get them to confess? It's what my dad said when I messed up. All of you shut up, Ox snapped. His face was flushed with frustration. An understandable reaction to the horrible situation we've been thrust into. It's obvious that whoever activated this trinket had ill intent. We should assume that it was either Victoria's personality or the defeated personality. In either case, the more people dead, the easier it would be for them to fulfill their objective. But how were they able to use the trinket? It should have been locked away. None of that matters since that idiot bunny blathered off the first 3 numbers without thinking. At that point, they could have guessed and checked for the last one. That's... Hey, isn't it suspicious that he gave the code away like that? Maybe he did that on purpose to try and make it seem like anyone could have used the item. That way we wouldn't be able to pin the activation on him. Hold on a minute, Pig. I know that you have a right to be angry, but you're putting on some real hurtful accusations right now. Take a moment to reconsider, would you? Not to impose, but is Pig's theory really possible? Bunny had yet to read the rule explanation and thus had no idea what announcing those numbers would accomplish. That doesn't necessarily clear him of suspicion, but I believe it is a stretch to claim malintent for an oversight. Thank you, Monkey. No gratitude is necessary. I'm just hoping to keep the conversation measured. Whatever, it's still his dumbass fault for running his mouth like that. Quit with the pointless squabbling. We have much larger concern to deal with. What are we supposed to do now that this stupid system is in play? We can't descend into paranoia just because of this threat. We all need a promise to choose no one when we vote. You seriously think people are going to do that? If everyone does that, one rogue vote could kill you. I believe Prig has brought up the real reason why this would never work. Even if we assume that whoever activated a major trinket will refrain from voting, a questionable assumption, there is a real risk that the non-traders will vote others in fear of being voted for themselves. It is a true dilemma. It's clear that simply promising not to vote is not going to cut it. Therefore, we are forced to turn the other way, nobody dies, the case of a tie. If we all force out all our votes in equal proportion on 2 people, then the votes will tie, and we can all stay alive. Wait, Ox, you're saying you want us to vote for each other? Yes, I believe that's the only way. I think it's a wise idea in theory. But Ox, I fear that few will want to volunteer for the proposition of voted. It's an undesirable proposition no matter how you view it. Fine, then I'll step up to the plate. Ox? Mouse, bunny, dragon, sheep, monkey, pig, I want you all to vote for me. Are you serious? Huh, so this is what conviction looks like, huh? Well, you think Ox is being brave or something? That's nothing. Ox, tiger, snake, horse, rooster, dog, you can all vote for me. Seriously? The votes will be split 6-6, right? Neither of us will die. Hopefully. Definitely, I know myself, and I know I'm not the type to die in a shithole like this. I don't like this plan, but if everyone agrees with it, I'll go along with it. No objection here. Nor here. I admire your bravery, Ox. Dragon, I'll volunteer to be one of the voted next round. It'll take too long to discuss this every single time. We need to resume our trinket search, so we can come up with a system, we should stick with it. If we're decided, should we go and enter our votes now? These are 15-minute cycles and are going to be a lot faster than full round cycles. Yes, I think that would be for the best. Come everybody, find a room and input your votes. Everyone remembers who to vote for, right? I swear to God, if one of you fuckers forgets who you're on and screw this up, you're dead meat. We split up and entered individual rooms. I voted for Ox. I didn't have a choice. If I didn't, Dragon might die. But I had a bad feeling about this. I really didn't like voting for Ox like that. Whatever. I couldn't linger on bad feelings. I had to keep up forward momentum. I returned to the cafeteria. By the time everyone returned, the 15-minute cycle was almost up. We ignored that and talked about searching strategy. After we confirmed that everything worked out fine, we'll gather back up in the groups we were in and resume our search. The important thing is to stay focused. If we rush and miss a trinket, then mark a room searched, we can really be screwing ourselves in the long run. We need 10 minor trinkets no matter what. 12 of course would be ideal, but Ox is interrupted by an announcement that played in their tablets.
With a total of 6 prayers, the great draconic gods have heeded the group wishes to strike down Ox.
Damn. Ox couldn't even get out a curse before starting to choke. Ox? What's wrong with him? The execution process. It's begun. No. But Snake was right. Ox's face had begun to turn a strange colour as he clawed at his own throat. Drips of blood started to come down from under the collar. The knives must already be in his throat. He thrashed and swayed in a delirious, horrifying dance. Eventually it was too much for him. His knees buckled to the floor. His body followed short after. And a corpse now lay in the cafeteria. Yeah. Ox, no. Damn it, damn it, damn it. What the hell? Brian, you bastard. Fuck you. Fuck you and all that you stand for, you fucking murderer piece of shit. Mouse, calm down. Excuse me? I know you have the right to be angry, but we need to think about what this means rationally if we don't want more to follow him. I hated it, but Bunny was right. My rage was just supplanted by my sorrow. I didn't know Ox for long, but he seemed really nice. We woke up in the same room, so I felt like I knew him the best. He was the leader of the group, and to end up like this? No. Both anger and sadness were out of place. I needed to once again bottle up my emotions, because though I screamed at him, Brian wasn't the one who caused Ox to die. It was someone in this room. What on earth was that about? I thought Dragon was supposed to get 6 votes too. Dragon, the hell is this about? Why are you looking at me? I did what I was supposed to. I was one of Ox's 6 votes. If you're looking to blame anyone, look at the people who were supposed to vote for me. Because one of them didn't hold up their end of the bargain. Excluding Ox, that's 5 people. Tiger, snake, rooster, horse, and dog. Does that mean the person who used the major trinket is one of them? Unfortunately, it's not that easy. Huh? God, this seems like a big pain, but it looks like I'm going to have to really do some work today, huh? Let's assume that all non-traders were completely loyal and fearless, and did what they were told with no ulterior motives. Say we buy that. I do. We're still left with the problem that we're not dealing with only one trader. There are 2 people who didn't out their personalities. Shit. You're right, dog. Even if one person started this prayer nonsense, now that it's active, there are 2 people who benefit from people dying. That means that even though the 2 who know the other person, if the 2 don't know who the other person is, those with abnormal personalities are basically partners who both benefit from using the system to kill others. We can guess that at least one of the traders are in that list, but it's going to be a big pain narrowing it down from there. Even if we attempted this tying shtick 5 or 6 more times, it'd be a struggle to even know for sure who the trader is. So what you're saying is that the tying plan won't work and we're totally doomed. It won't work now because we've got an uneven number anyway. Didn't say that, just said what I said. Still, the traders certainly got lucky. After all, if the 2 were voting for different people and both decided to switch their vote, not only would there be a tie, but we know 2 people tried to betray the group. Snake, that's it. Oh? I know how we can beat the traders. Sort of. Actually, this might be a really dumb idea, so I shouldn't. Just say it. Okay, so the 2 traders don't know each other, right? So it'd be difficult for them to plan, right? I think instead of us making a big tie, we should make a little tie. You mean like 1 vote each type of tie? I'll be honest, I haven't totally 100% exactly been paying much attention, so I might be off base in saying this, but wouldn't that make it easier for someone to get voted out? Not harder? If we knew how the tie would go, it would. But what if we made it so the traders didn't know who would be voted? 2 of us will be the designated voters, and the rest of us will choose to vote no one. The 2 voters will then each vote someone separately, but the rest of us won't know who those people vote. That way, the traders won't know who's getting a vote, so they'll have to randomly guess who to choose. Even if both of them guess, it'll usually end up with 4 people getting 1 vote each. Not to be dismissive, but doesn't this plan have a fairly glaring flaw? If one of the traders votes the same person as one of our designated voters chooses, that person will die. That's why I said the system is flawed. It leaves things to chance, and it has the possibility of going wrong. Yeah, still seems like our best bet. Not like I'm seeing any better plan to go with. We could also use this to figure out who the traders are. If it says we're having a 4-way tie, we'll know who the 2 designated voters are, both definitely innocent. Are you sure about that? I don't think that it said that they'd announce who was voted in the case of a tie. You're right, they didn't. But they might do that, I don't know. It's unclear at the moment. I see a problem with this plan. Another one? If one of the designated voters is a traitor, they'll know who their partner is voting, and they can copy that vote. The odds that at least one of our designated voters is a traitor is 2 to 11, which isn't that low. The 2 designated voters could just not tell each other who they plan to vote. That's better, but then we're risking the designated voters choosing the same person. I know. We can have a system where the voters write all 11 of our names on sheets of paper and then fold them up. Then they can choose a different piece of paper, looking at who they need to vote, then throw their sheets away. And afterwards, they'll also throw the rest of the paper away. That way, they're definitely voting for different people, but they don't know who the other person is voting. That sounds like a great compromise. If that all works for everyone, I suggest we get a move on. These 15-minute cycles are far less forgivable than the 45-minute round cycles. It is way short, man. In an effort to keep things moving, I'll volunteer to be one of the designated voters. Then I'll be the other. Great teamwork and choosing efficiency, guys. Yeah, split up and vote. And put in your moves for round 5 while we're at it. We don't know when we'll have another chance. And break. Once again we split into different rooms, this time with a better plan. However, there was a sense of deja vu. This is the same feeling I had when we split off last time. I was trying not to think about how that turned out. We'd also spent 2/3 of this round simply dealing with this prayer business instead of finding minor trinkets. It wasn't exactly a hopeful situation, still, there wasn't much to do. I chose to run for round 5, and I chose to pray against no one. Then we met up in the cafeteria. This time, however, the group was silent. There were only seconds until the end of the prayer cycle. The success or failure of our plan would be determined. We all held our breaths, waiting to hear the outcome. Then we heard it.
With a total of 2 prayers, the great draconic gods have heeded the group's wish to strike down Tiger.
No, this can't be. Similar to Ox, Tiger's last words were cut off. I couldn't watch again. I had to turn away. I wasn't the only one. In Tiger's final thrashing, painful moments, all but 3 had their backs to her. Was this disrespectful? I didn't care. Watching someone as positive as Tiger die painfully like that would break my psyche. I just couldn't handle it. I heard Pig nervously pacing in circles. Pig, are you alright? Oh, me? Just fine. Super fine. Only having a mental breakdown over here. Nothing to worry about. Seriously, what the hell was that about? For the record, Tiger wasn't my designated vote. Doc? Wasn't mine. Are you saying that both traitors voted her independently? How likely is that? Very much not so they're working together then. In all likelihood, this means the two have somehow managed to contact each other. If they can vote together, the plan is essentially dead in the water. No, this is all my fault. That's not true. It was a good plan, just not good enough. So what are we going to do now? We spent all this time talking about what we must do, but on both occasions we've utterly failed to counter the traitors. Gotta say guys, this is a real D+ effort right now. D+ is a passing grade, my friend. Shut the hell up. God, you're so annoying. Things are always better when you're silent. Reese, you've contributed the least here, so you've got a little ground to stand on. My lack of speech is a contribution. Dragon herself just said that things are better when I'm silent, so you're welcome. Reese is right, we need a new plan. So, the new plan is, right, no plan. Huh? Plans suck. Plans aren't useful at all. Plans are what killed Tiger and Ox. If we just sit around and say exactly what we're going to do, the traitors will be able to completely read our moves. And all this time we haven't found any trinkets whatsoever. So now our plan is to not have a plan. Okay, but what does that mean? I don't know. Vote no one. Vote someone random. Find a partner and both of you vote the same person. Be completely random, untrackable, then maybe, maybe, we'll stumble into a tie vote. It sounds like a horrible idea. Nah, let's do this. Pig's right. This obsession with plans has completely killed our searches. And they've been seen through twice. Everyone split up and don't be predictable. Dragon shouted this and immediately stormed off in a random direction. Pig followed suit and before I knew it, the group was mostly split up. I was sort of a snake. Just completely abandoning logic and leaving things to chance seemed like a really bad idea. But the die was already cast, as it were. It was best to accept things and look for trinkets. I went into a nearby classroom and did the typical search. At this point I was trying to feel like a professional school inspector. A school inspector who didn't end up with a lot of results. Even though I was able to search through it relatively quickly, no trinkets were found in the room I looked in. I started to look for another room, but as I went down the hallway I saw something suspicious. Snake was eagerly explaining something to Pig, who was nodding. A bit further down the hallway, Horse was leading Sheep into the library. What are you guys doing? Both Snake and Pig looked startled when I called out to them, and Snake hurriedly brought Pig into the library. Wait, what the hell is this? I rushed over to the library door and tried to pull it open, but Horse held the door closed. Looking in, I saw Bunny, Horse, Pig, Sheep, and Snake were in the room. What's going on here? Don't look at me like that. Ignore her. What on earth? Apologies, Mouse, but being weak-willed will lead to the worst possible results. To avoid that, drastic measures are needed. In an instant, I realized what was happening. They decided the only way to ensure they weren't voted to execution was to form their own majority and vote everyone else away. I cried out as loud as I could. Everybody, get over here. This group is trying to kill the rest of us. Before long, Dragon, Monkey, Rooster, and Dog had run to my location. The hell is this, you assholes? Dragon yanked on the door handle, but Horse held steady. Get out here. Pig, you treacherous bitch, I thought you said not to make a plan. If I didn't join, they'd get someone else. You know you're going to have to come out sometime. You can't be in the same room when you use your tablet. The library actually has a small separate room inside, hence why we chose that as a base. Shit. Damn, that was a total of 2 cycles before we went into full Lord of the Flies. I was expecting 1 cycle though, so I guess well done us. Dragon slammed on the door again. Everyone, I would propose our first target should be Dragon. She stands a chance of breaking into our sanctuary. No, she doesn't. Guys, quickly, let's all vote Snake. Mouse? It's us versus them. We don't have the luxury to be soft. We need to focus all our votes on him. Say no more. I'm on it. It's distressing, but if we don't, they may die. We may die. Why not? Yeah, I'll show that arsehole. We'd agreed to vote for Snake, and we split up into different rooms. Alright, we need to wrap it up. This one's going on for a while. Looks like we're going to have a bit to do here. But we've definitely found another major pathway by the look of it. So we'll come back to it soon. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Thanks for watching. Thanks for taking it out with me, and I'll see you in the next one.